A guten Erev Shabbos. A mother once came to the Rebbe with her son who was struggling both at home and in school. The Rebbe turned to the child and said, "Do you enjoy going to school?" "No, I don't," said the child very sharply. "When you're in school," asked the Rebbe, "do you behave appropriately?" "No," he answered defiantly. Finally, the Rebbe asked him, "Are you respectful to your mother?" Which he also answered, "No, I am not." With a huge smile, the Rebbe turned to his mother and said, "Your son excels with a trait of emes, of speaking truthfully. This will serve him well in life." Which brings us to this week's Parsha. Moshe Rabbeinu comes down from Har Sinai, from the mountain, with the first luchos. Yeshua greets him and shares with him the words, Kol milchama banat b'machana. I hear the sound of war in the camp. To which Moshe Rabbeinu responds, Ein kol gevura, ve'ein kol chalusha. You are not hearing the sound of strength or conquest. You are not hearing the sound of weakness or of someone being vanquished. Kol anos. What you're hearing is the sound of distress. This explains the Ramban that Moshe Rabbeinu was sharing with Yeshua as a future leader of Klal Yisrael. You need to be able to discern the various sounds that you hear. You have to be able to distinguish the voices, the sounds, to determine what is going on. In chinuch, that means when our children behave inappropriately. Of course, we have to deal with that behavior in an appropriate way. There's an art to consequences, an art to dealing with a situation. But we have to remember that the behavior is not the story. The behavior is merely a window into what is going on in the life of the children, of the child. There was once a bacher in our Mesivta who was causing all sorts of problems during davening, and the Rabbeim were having a very difficult time dealing with him. He was sent to my office, and I asked the child a question. I said, "What is going on? Why is it so difficult for you?" He looked me in the eye and he said, "Rabbi Rosenblum, I don't know how to read." His behavior was merely covering up on his inability to be able to read the words of tefillah. Now, it's not always that easy. Many times we can't figure out what's going on in truth with our children. Many times children themselves don't know why they're acting in a particular way. But just not overreacting, but rather asking questions and being curious as to what is this behavior really telling me? What's the root cause? What's going on underneath this? This in of itself is very, very helpful to the child in getting him to change that behavior. Have a wonderful Shabbos.